to take you through the ultimate Sunbites platter. I mean, plattering has become a bit of a sport. So Molly's going to give us some tips to make your platter enviable and one that you proudly put out on the table. But to give you a little bit more background, Sunbites is a product I think quite a few of you might have tried it. Social Soup do quite a bit of work with Sunbites. If you're not familiar with it, it's a better for you snacking option. It's got crackers, it's got things that you can have by themselves that you can mix with dips. And I think Molly's also going to take us through a few of those dip suggestions as well that you can easily make at home. So Molly, thank you so much for joining us.
All right, there you go. So hi everyone, I'm Molly from the Kirk's Crazy Life on Insta, and as I said, I am an influencer partner and I'm a big fan of Sunbites. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to be showing you how to create and style the ultimate winter platter using some Sunbites. So with me today, I do have the Sunbite snack crackers. So I've got the sea salt ones here and I've got the cheddar and chives. They are my two favourite, which is why I love them so much. And I brought those ones out. I will be focusing more on the sea salt one though. So what I'm going to be doing is making a guacamole dip first off. So why I've picked a guacamole dip is because it does complement the sea salt one better. And if you'd like to know the recipe, it is on the back of the Sunbites box. As you can see at the bottom there, it's got the ingredients and what you have to do. It is so easy to make. Most of the other Sunbites snack cracker boxes also have different dips that do complement it, like the cheddar and chives. They've got a spicy red lentil dip, so it's on the back as well. Another one of my favorites is the caramelized onion and balsamic, which does have a delicious pistachio, rosemary and white bean dip, so definitely give that one a try too. So to start off with my guacamole dip, I have mashed up 2 avocados. So I've done 1.5, so I'm just about to do the other one now. So I just need to get the avocados, make sure they're nice and ripe, just give it a mash, and once it's all mashed up, all you have to do is add some sun-dried tomatoes. So I've got 4 sun-dried tomatoes that I have chopped and diced here, which I'll just add those. I've also got half a small red onion. So when dicing these though, do make sure that they are more finer. You don't want to find a huge big piece of onion. I also wanted to mention as well, sorry, that if you have any questions, make sure you keep asking. I will answer some questions at the end as well. So once I've added the onions, I can also add 2 tablespoons of lime juice. So I've already got that there. And then not to forget my tablespoon of coriander leaves, all chopped up as well. So all I'm going to do is a big mix. So as you can see, it was so easy to make, so simple, just tastes amazing too. So definitely give this one a go. Like I said, if you want to know the recipe and you can't remember, it's on the back of the box. So this is the one on the sea salt box. All right, so first off, when starting your platter, make sure you get a nice board. I do have a round one today. So I'm using this nice round wooden board. There are all different styles. You can get a square one, a rectangle one. I do have this one as well, which I like as well, which always looks nice as well. It's really up to you, so it doesn't really make a difference. It's just how you feel. So first off, I'm going to start by placing my larger items first. So you start off with placing the larger items first and then just work down from there. Just that way at the end you can see where spots are missing or what's a little bit plain and where to fill in, because the more full it looks more inviting. So let me just add this all into here. So I'm also going to be using some cheeses. Like everybody loves a good cheese on a platter. So I'll add my cheeses, make sure I decorate it all around how I want it to look. Another good tip when doing a platter is sort of having everything where you will visualize where you want things already, or plan it out beforehand. Like make sure you have all your fruits and veggies all cut, or chopped, or washed. Any deli meats that you're going to be using, have them already pre-rolled before you start. That way when you've got your ingredients, all you have to do is really get into placing it where you want to do, like where you want to put it. You don't have to worry about running back and forth, having to chop and clean and do all that. So I'm going to add those. I'm going to add my sea salt snack crackers now with quinoa. So I like to place them just like a bit of a trail coming out from the dip. That way when you do see it kind of like leads up towards the dip. And it's easier to eat because you can just grab it and dip it straight away. Just place those. So like I said, I've also got some deli meats that I'm going to be using. I also have some carrot sticks and some cucumbers all sliced up and chopped, just because I like putting, I guess I like using fruits and veg that have colour as well, because it just looks more bright and vibrant and more inviting. When it comes to picking fruit, so I guess it's more of a seasonal thing as well. So today I'm going to be using more autumn and wintry fruits, because that's what's in season. So I have got some kiwi fruit that I'm going to be using. So I've already sliced and chopped those up. I also have some apple and pear that I'll be using. So just a quick tip on the apples and pears though, because they do brown up, as you probably noticed. So a good way to stop that from happening is by dipping them or brushing them with some lemon juice, and that keeps it looking fresher for longer. So I've also got, well, if it was summer, sorry, I would probably use mangoes. Mangoes are, you know, delicious and they're a nice vibrant color. I would use blueberries because I think just adding more color, as I said before, it just brings more texture towards it as well, and they're delicious. So I've got my pears and I've got my apples, and I'm just going to place them just all around just to fill up the areas and things like that. I also have grapes. I'll be using grapes. I've gotten 2 types of grapes, but grapes I think always look amazing on platters. They taste delicious, they always look amazing, and yeah, it's just delicious. So I've got 2 different colours just because I do like colour in my platters, and I feel like the more colour, the more vibrant, it just looks nicer and a bit better. I've also got some raspberries. So I do love raspberries, they taste delicious. And like I said, they just bring that, just a bit of pop of colour into it as well. So it's not so boring. You don't want a dull platter. You want something that looks inviting, something that looks vibrating. Unfortunately, we are people, well, majority of us eat with our eyes. So if it looks delicious, it looks inviting, you're going to want to eat it more. You're going to want to replicate it. You're going to enjoy it more. So we definitely eat with our eyes sometimes. Next, once you've got all your main ingredients on it though, you want to check to see if there's any spots that look a little bit more empty, and what you can do, you can either, you know, grab some more crackers, some more biscuits and snacks. Or next thing you can do, I've got my nuts here, peanuts. Peanuts are a good filler. So just fill it up with some peanuts. These are a mixed nut, so I've just got a bit of everything. Another thing you can do is use fresh herbs. They always look amazing. I do love to use, mint only because they grow outside the house, so they're easier for me to grab it, but they also smell delicious. You know, some people still like to eat mint just like that. So I like to add that in those little spots that do look a little bit empty. Another good one is rosemary. Just they smell delicious and they look amazing. This one's got like a few little purple flowers there. This also grows in my front yard, so you can probably tell they're usually mint and rosemary are super easy to grow. They're always growing everywhere. I've got a few neighbours that have all got it, so definitely easier to do. So as you can see, it didn't take that long. I don't know if I can lift this up and show you, but this is how it's all looking. So, next thing, I guess, yeah, I'll share some tips on how to photograph a platter. So obviously in this modern world, we all like to take a nice good photo, which is Insta-worthy, or, you know, you want people to be saying, oh, that's amazing, it looks good. So a few of my tips, I guess, would be just lighting. So you want to use natural lighting. Natural lighting is amazing. It's the best. It shows off the colors. It shows off how vibrant, you know, your platter is. You don't want to wash it out. So there's been a few times where I don't get enough lighting in my kitchen because of the time of day and where the mirrors are, oh, sorry, where the windows are in my kitchen. So I've had to pick up my platter, I've had to move it around the house. I do have like an MDF board, so I can move that around the house, whether it's on the kids' beds or my bed or on the couch or somewhere where there's more lighting depending on the time of the day, and just move my board there or anything that I'm taking a photo of and just taking a photo there. I do like a white background, but I do know some people take photos with a dark background again. And I've seen those photos and they look amazing. So really when it comes to the background of your platter, it kind of just goes with what kind of vibe you want to go with and what the feel you're going with. Another thing is clutter. You don't want it to look too cluttered. So when taking a photo, make sure that it doesn't look like it's too much and that it's lost its appeal. It can be such thing as throwing too many things where then it just gets lost. You don't know what you're really looking at anymore, as well as the background. You don't want the background to be too cluttered. For example, if I was going to be taking a photo of this, I would make sure I moved, you know, the spare containers that I don't need or like the extra little things that I didn't have to use, and make sure that the focus is on the platter. I guess an eye view, a top view, is the best way as well to take a photograph, only because you can see everything that is on your platter, and you spend time making this, so of course you'd like to show it off. You want to see how, you want to show people how amazing this looks. There's no point in making it look amazing and then taking a photo from the side here where you can't really see it. You'd like to be proud of what you've made. You know, if you've made something beautiful and looks delicious, definitely take a nice photo of it. Yeah, so like I said, the top is always a nice photo. Sometimes if you're trying to focus on one product, so say if I was focusing on the Sunbites snack crackers, I would just take a photo more of an angle, I guess, just so that was the main attraction. So that's where your eyes get drawn to. I do use a camera when taking my photos, so I like to use a 1.8 aperture. That way the main thing is in focus and the rest of it kind of gets blurred out. I do use my phone sometimes for photos, so I can just use it on food mode as well. But those are a few of my tips, but just overall, don't be scared to try out and move your platter anywhere. Don't be scared to put different things on your platter and check out what matches. Don't be scared of color. I love throwing in different fruits, like I would have used dragon fruit, to be honest, as well, if I would have found that, but I couldn't find any, just because the colors are so amazing on the outside and the white that brings it in. There's just different things that you can add, but like I said, don't be scared. Make sure you plan. I find it easier to plan. Just look at the board and see where you want things to be, how you want it to kind of work together. So planning makes it easier. Have everything prepared. So like I said before, washed, chopped, cut, rolled, makes the job so much more easier, and yeah, definitely makes it easier. So I'll have a look at some questions and see how we go. If there's anything you want to ask. So how long before a party do you recommend setting up a platter? So it really depends. You can like have everything cut and washed and prepared the night before, so that even an hour beforehand you can set it all up. Cheeses are best off being left out an hour before after being in the fridge, only because it is easier to slice into and everything like that. So at least an hour beforehand. If you know you've got some fruits that will go a little bit funny beforehand, there's no reason why you can't just put your platter in the fridge, have it all ready and waiting. But like I said, definitely more easier once you've got everything washed, cut, prepared. It'll only take you, like I said, I think that took me only a few minutes to do because everything was already set and cut. The dip. With the dip, I guess it just really depends what kind of dip you're making. But most things you can just refrigerate. So even if you do it in the morning beforehand, you know, you just have to cover it up, make sure it's nice and air sealed. You put it in the fridge. This, like my avocado, it does have lime juice in it, so that will keep it. It will keep it fresh, so which is good. But I'll definitely be putting this in the fridge afterwards. Sorry, just trying to read this. how do you lean and become a pro at making beautiful platters? I just preparing, I guess. I remember when I first started trying to make a platter, I would literally get a piece of paper and map out how I wanted it to look, only because I was very specific on how I wanted it to look, and I wanted it to look really nice. And then I would Google photos on different types of platters, and I thought, you know, I would take some ideas from these, and I just, by the end of it, I could just place things where I felt like it kind of just matched. My favorite ingredients. Do you have a fave / go-to ingredients that you feel always works when you go with a platter? Cheeses. My favorite thing is cheeses. Crackers are always a big thing, and I think grapes. Like any platter always has to have a cheese. I do love brie cheese, camembert cheese. I've got some Swiss cheese here today, but things like blue cheese can be a bit of a hit and miss. As you know, blue cheese is a bit of a stronger taste, so not everybody likes a strong blue cheese, which can be problematic. So I do tend to go with the creamier cheeses as well, but they're definitely my go-to. And dips, any dip, guacamole dip seems to be the biggest hit out of all of them, to be honest. So definitely try this one as well. I always get compliments for it. So what's my favorite Sunbites dip to make? Oh, that's a hard one. The easiest is this one, the guacamole, but my favorite would have to be the pistachio, rosemary, and white beans dip would be my favorite. So that was the one that goes with the caramelized onion and balsamic snack crackers. So it's on the back of that one if you want to make that one. Or, by the way, all these recipes as well are on the Sunbites website, so you can check it out there as well, but they're always on the back of the packet, depending on which one you get as well. So my favorite way to eat the Sunbites crackers, I actually just like to eat them plain or with a nice dip, but I have no problem just sitting there with the box and just snacking out of it when I'm watching something on TV or when I'm relaxing. So I just, straight out of the box is my favorite way to eat those. What lens do you use? I've got a 35mm with a 1.8 aperture lens, so that's what I use on my Nikon camera, only because I do like a good blur on it. So with the cheese knives, I actually don't have any with me, I like to kind of poke them in. So for example, I don't have them on me actually. Yeah, so I like to just kind of point it in, that way it's already, so when somebody goes to get their cheese, they can already dip it in and grab a slice. It makes it easier. I also do like to add toothpicks as well to the deli meats, or sometimes I like to lay just a little container of toothpicks on the side so that people can come, and it just makes it that simpler for them and when they're trying to pick up things. What cheese do you prefer to use? Like I said, my favorite cheese out of all of them has to be a triple cream brie. It's my favorite, to be honest, only because I do like creamier tastes. Where do you buy Sunbites from? You can just get them at the supermarket. So I went to Woolworths the other day and I picked these up. They had a big range of assortment. So you can get the crackers, you can get the chips. They all taste amazing. You know, you can even use the chips in your platter. They've done that before and they look amazing, they taste good. But yeah, it's different. There's so many different possibilities as well with that. Salami, I've used the mild white Hungarian salami here. I do like using prosciutto sometimes. I do have some Twiggy sticks as well. So only because my children love Twiggy sticks, so I always add them. I add the cabanas as well, but I find the mild Hungarian salami is easier to roll, as you can see. It just stays put. And just in case your guests don't like spicy food, it's just an easier option and a safer option too. How long should I soft cheese out of the fridge before serving? Well, usually you would recommend, say, an hour before serving with soft cheese. I would probably do it maybe 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be so it doesn't have to be for an hour after, but I reckon 30 minutes is a good time. Sometimes I do sprinkle some feta around as well, just to fill it up, or put some cubes of feta as well, which I think is a good texture and a good flavor as well for any platter. Right. So there are a few different questions, but I'm just looking at the time. Sorry. I do have to go, and I'm going to have to get to the next segment because I don't want to have to go over time because I have been chatting. But with the rest of these questions, I'll make sure to try and get onto that and give everybody an answer. But thank you everybody for tuning in and being a part of this SOUPFEST, and I hope you enjoyed the platter. I will take a photo even and put it on my socials too, so you can see an up close photo. But yeah, so thank you for listening and seeing my platter with Sunbites today. I'll give it back to you.
Thank you so much, Molly, for that. Look, we've seen a lot in the chat about everybody saying that they want a platter right now, and we definitely agree. We really appreciate you putting that together. It looked fantastic. I know that Molly did say that she would put it on her own social. Just a reminder, the Kirk's Crazy Life. But we will take that photo and put it onto our Social Soup account because it looked fantastic and we'd love to share it with you guys.
Yes, and Facebook. So thank you everyone who has jumped on Facebook and talked about who you would share a platter with. So we've got lots of people talking about their family, their besties. I think we've all been craving some company, certainly the ability to catch up with people. So Ruth says, my best friends, Laurel and Chris. Natalie is going to share it with her awesome husband, lucky hubby. Lydia is going to share it with her neighbor. Jane is going to share it with her grandchildren. I'm sure they'd really appreciate that. So it looks like everyone's really appreciated some ideas and tips, and so keep them coming. Keep who you would share them with. We've got the competition open for 48 hours, so keep going.
Okay.